Your next storyteller is a poet, a word lover, a dedicated joy seeker, undulating nearby. Yes, Joanne Stockwell is a literary wanderer. That's what it looks like. There you go. Who draws inspiration from nature and is fully sustained by family. Tell us more, Jerry.
Fetch. My hot lawyer with cool tattoos asked for a list of my rejections, building our case against an evil rainforest where I worked until they took my job and gave it to a man. A long list of jobs where my experience exceeded defined required qualifications, executing accountabilities delivered to native Gen Zs at AI companies that didn't even exist last week. Editing out time on my resume, Botox for the older job seeker. Unfortunately, we will be moving forward with other candidates, each one a bee sting. Senior dog at the LinkedIn shelter, well-trained, loyal, with bitter eyes. Not sure I want a new owner. Thinking back, long days, looking out the corner window, riding on jets, chasing broomsticks. It physically hurt as I read an email sent at 4 a.m. letting me know I was part of a reduction in force, also known as a RIF. This was not my first layoff. Anyone by my age in the corporate world has probably been touched by the "it's not you, it's just business" talking point. However, this time it felt different. It felt targeted, intentional. So when an online article went live on a Saturday morning, it was a hot volley of feelings. Do you Google my name, which please don't do right now? It was a top search result, and my phone started to blow up as my friends and former colleagues were alerted to a story about a woman suing Amazon for age discrimination. I was vulnerable and exposed, and random strangers were cheering me on. My LinkedIn inbox is actually filled with people telling me, "There are so many of us out here who understand and share your experience." They felt seen. They had experienced something similar and admired my courage and guts, even if in that moment I was feeling much less afraid. And yet, what really stuck with me when I look back now is being part of a new community of professionals who understand the pain and frustration of doing everything to stay relevant. Playing the game for years, doing your very best while looking for validation in a place where one day you're a top-tier performer to quickly being classified as less effective, feeling unwanted. It can mess with your head and your confidence. I was angry, and I had facts to support my case, and I had an amazing lawyer. And that's not where my story ends, fortunately. It was just the beginning. Virginia Woolf once wrote, I don't know how she sees, so I won't. When you let go of the frantic search for validation, you find yourself exactly where you are meant to be, with the tools you need to go forward. It is from this place of quiet assurance that the most beautiful things emerge. I stopped looking for validation. I had taken one big leap, and suddenly new stepping stones were appearing before me. Watch it grow. I don't remember exactly the day I stopped to thrive. I felt a constant buzz, something like a hive. A tightness in my airway, worse when lying in bed. I went to see a woman. This tingling, I said, I'd like to shed. She touched me, felt my pulse. She dipped a toe in my pool, deep. Your blood is much too cold, she said. Maybe try and get more sleep. Still at night, I could feel them dancing, these hyperactive bees, building an elaborate structure gathered from sweet nectar inside of me. I worked on my breath. I climbed to a mountain meadow. I asked them in a gentle whisper, "And it's time to go?" I began to accept the hum, a part of getting older, this constant internal tremor, a part of me dying to be bolder. One night I felt the shift, settled and satiated. a cozy home. My mind began to dream again, the bees at rest, an intricate honeycomb. The courage to stand up to Amazon spread like a virus to other parts of my life. I took a pause and started asking myself what I really, really wanted. I took a page from Kara's playbook and decided I wanted to make a documentary about a tiny great books program at a small liberal arts college where I got my undergraduate degree, to explore how important it is to learn to ask your own questions, especially now. I wanted to start my own consulting business because I felt amazing to write my own business plan after using my writing talents for so long to make other people sound good. I decided it was okay to call myself a poet and took some of that spilling over courage and applied for an MFA program, was accepted, and I will walk across the stage in June of 2027. Wonderful. My MFA program has been life-changing in so many ways, but mostly because of the encouragement. You'll see what I did there, encouragement. Of the incredible people in my life, some that are in this room, you made me cry, and my new writing community. I've used my voice in the past, but if I'm honest, it was a little hard to hear sometimes. Poetry gives me the courage to be still, welcome the muse, and hear my own voice loud and clear. Now I firmly believe that I need to be the spark for others to find their own bravery, to be their own hero, especially when fear has you glued to the couch. Because like the sign says outside the CrossFit gym, your comfort zone will kill you. Now I understand that a poem is not truly a poem until another person reads or hears it in a way that moves them, possibly in ways beyond even what the poet could have imagined. That's magic. So I'll leave you with one last poem. As I step back into creative writing after a 35-year break. Afraid to slip into my comfort zone of mindless work, so simple and shallow, constant chasing after a hollow bone. To produce, my field is lying fallow. For empty, artificial, and soulless tech, delivering happy, deceptive spin. Maybe it's over, the steady paycheck, nemesis with her enticing grin. It's just business I hold until the end. Why not believed to earn my living wage? There is nothing left but to comprehend. An older woman of a certain age, finding myself here, blank page and pencil, my long-deferred dream with my own stencil. Thank you.